Have you ever felt like your body is trying to tell you something, a quiet stiffness in the morning, a dull ache that lingers after a walk, or a general sense that your energy just isn't what it used to be? You chalk it up to aging, maybe even try to laugh it off. But deep down, it wears on you. Because when your body doesn't feel right, everything becomes just a little harder, even the things you once loved. But what if those nagging aches and dips in energy aren't just about getting older? What if there's something happening beneath the surface, something that's been quietly building over the years? That something is inflammation. And while it might sound like just another medical term tossed around on health shows, it's very real, especially as we age. Chronic inflammation is like a slow-burning fire inside the body, often invisible, but quietly affecting the joints, the brain, even the heart. And for many people over 60, it's the hidden reason behind fatigue, stiffness, memory fog, and more. Now, here's the good news. Inflammation isn't something you have to accept or endure. You can fight back. And you don't need expensive supplements, complicated diets, or anything extreme. You can start the healing process right where you are in your kitchen, with the foods you already eat. Let's begin with something small, sweet, and incredibly powerful. Berries. You've probably passed by them at the grocery store hundreds of times. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. But here's something you might not know. These little fruits are packed with natural compounds called anthocyanins. They don't just give berries their bright colors, they actively fight inflammation inside your body. When you eat berries regularly, even just a small handful each day, those anthocyanins get to work protecting your cells. They reduce the kind of oxidative stress that contributes to aging and disease. But the benefits go beyond your joints. These compounds have also been linked to sharper thinking and better memory in older adults. It's like feeding your brain and your body at the same time. And here's what makes this so encouraging. You don't need to overhaul your life. No strict diet, no expensive juice cleanse. Just imagine adding a spoonful of fresh berries to your morning oatmeal, or blending a few frozen ones into a smoothie. That small choice can help calm the internal storm of inflammation, and that's just the beginning. Now, if you're thinking, that sounds great, but can it really make a difference? You're not alone. Many seniors feel skeptical at first, especially if they've been living with discomfort for a long time. But the truth is, change doesn't always come in one big moment. Sometimes, it begins with something as simple as what's on your plate. Years ago, there was a woman named Ellen, 72 at the time, who struggled every morning with joint pain in her hands. She loved gardening, but even holding a small trowel felt like a battle. She didn't want to rely on pain medication every day, so she started researching foods that might help. At first, she just added blueberries to her breakfast. Then she included a turmeric tea in the afternoon, just out of curiosity. Weeks passed. She didn't notice anything dramatic right away, but slowly, she realized she wasn't waking up with the same pain. She was able to go outside and plant again. Her hands weren't perfect, but they didn't feel like enemies anymore. She told her daughter, "I feel like I got a little piece of myself back." That's what this is really about. Not miracle cures, but restoring parts of yourself that you miss. Feeling good enough to enjoy your hobbies again, move comfortably, and go through your day without that invisible weight dragging you down. And it starts with simple changes like adding berries into your diet. They may not seem powerful, but they've been shown in countless studies to reduce markers of inflammation in the body. And for seniors, they're easy to digest, naturally sweet, and incredibly versatile. You don't need to give anything up, just add these little health boosters in. Because the truth is, the body wants to heal. It wants to move freely, think clearly, and feel light again. Sometimes, it just needs the right tools. And nature has already provided them right there in the form of food. If berries are nature's sweet little warriors, then fatty fish are the calm, steady protectors. Think salmon, mackerel, sardines, foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are like a soothing balm for your body's overworked systems, especially the joints and the heart. For older adults, they're one of the most direct, natural ways to calm chronic inflammation that often shows up as arthritis, pain, stiffness, or even cardiovascular trouble. What's remarkable is how fast your body responds when you start including these healthy fats in your meals. Omega-3s help regulate the immune system. They don't shut it down, but instead keep it from going into overdrive. That's important because in many cases, inflammation happens when the body thinks it's protecting itself, but ends up doing more harm than good. These fatty acids help restore balance, easing that unnecessary tension and helping tissues heal. There's something almost poetic about the idea that food from the sea, full of fluid motion and calm, can bring that same sense of ease to your own body. And if salmon or sardines aren't your favorite, that's okay. Even a small can of tuna or a few walnuts in your salad can make a difference. It's not about perfection, it's about giving your body what it needs to do, what it's meant to do. Then there's turmeric, a golden spice that's been used for centuries but often forgotten in modern kitchens. Hidden in this humble root is curcumin, one of the most powerful, natural, anti-inflammatory compounds we know of. In fact, some studies have shown that curcumin works as effectively as certain anti-inflammatory medications without the harsh side effects. Turmeric doesn't scream for attention. It blends gently into soups, stews, or even warm teas. But don't let its subtle presence fool you. It's working behind the scenes, calming inflamed tissues, protecting the brain, and even supporting digestion, which is another area that often becomes sluggish with age. Many seniors feel a noticeable shift when they start regularly including turmeric in their diet. Some notice improved joint comfort. Others say they just feel lighter or clearer. One man, Raymond, who was 75, started drinking turmeric tea with black pepper every evening. He didn't expect much. But after a few weeks, he realized he could get up from his recliner without bracing himself. He didn't talk about it much, just nodded and said, "That yellow stuff isn't magic, but it's close." And that brings us to something most of us already have in our kitchens, but often overlook: leafy greens. Spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard, they're more than just salad filler. These greens are packed with compounds that directly reduce inflammatory markers in the body. They're rich in antioxidants, fiber, and essential nutrients like vitamin K, which plays a key role in joint and bone health. For many seniors, energy dips and stiffness are signs that the body isn't getting enough of these vital nutrients. Leafy greens act like internal housekeepers, sweeping away toxins, reducing cellular stress, and keeping things moving smoothly. They support the liver, the gut, and even the brain. And the best part? You don't have to eat them raw if you don't enjoy them that way. Lightly sautéed greens with garlic, stirred into an omelet, or blended into a warm soup, they're gentle on the digestive system and easy to prepare. A woman named June, who used to think salads were boring, started adding sautéed kale to her scrambled eggs every morning. She said it gave her pep, as she called it, that little extra lift to start her day without needing a second cup of coffee. It's these small changes, done consistently, that start to shift the way your body feels. Not overnight, not in a flash, but steadily, like a gentle tide coming in. Foods like berries, salmon, turmeric, and leafy greens don't just sit on your plate, they become part of your healing process. They speak to your cells, telling them to calm down, to recover, to restore. And when your body starts listening, really listening to that message, it begins to respond. Joints start to ache less. Mornings become less of a struggle. Energy slowly returns, not in a rush, but like a soft light filling a room. It's not about turning back time. It's about making the time you have feel fuller, freer, more comfortable. Because the truth is, after 60, you deserve to feel good. You've spent a lifetime taking care of others, raising families, working hard, navigating ups and downs. Now, it's your turn to be cared for, starting with how you nourish yourself. And your body, believe it or not, is still eager to thrive. Now that we've explored the power of berries, fatty fish, turmeric, and leafy greens, let's talk about one more powerhouse: olive oil. It's not just for drizzling on salads or dipping bread into. This Mediterranean staple is a goldmine of health benefits, especially when it comes to fighting inflammation. Olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, which are known to reduce the levels of harmful inflammatory markers in the body. In fact, many studies have shown that olive oil can significantly reduce the risk of chronic conditions like heart disease and arthritis, both of which are unfortunately all too common as we age. And it's not just the oil itself, it's the antioxidants and polyphenols that accompany it. These compounds help protect your cells from damage, fighting off oxidative stress and lowering inflammation. For seniors, a little olive oil goes a long way. Whether you're using it for sautéing vegetables, drizzling it over roasted potatoes, or even using it as the base for a homemade dressing, It's an easy way to reduce inflammation while enhancing the flavor of your food. And the best part? You don't have to go overboard. Just a tablespoon or two a day can make a significant impact. But let's get to the heart of the matter. How does this all come together to improve your day-to-day life? For most seniors, a typical day can feel like a series of small struggles getting out of bed, dealing with aches and pains, feeling tired by noon. What if you could change that? What if the solution was sitting right in front of you, in your grocery store or at your local farmer's market? Let me tell you about Emma, a woman who made a small but profound change in her routine. Emma is 68 years old, and she had been dealing with chronic joint pain for several years. It wasn't unbearable, but it was constant, a nagging reminder that the years had taken their toll. One day, after hearing about the benefits of anti-inflammatory foods, she decided to make a shift. She wasn't expecting miracles. She simply started adding more of these foods to her meals. Berries for breakfast, a salad with olive oil for lunch, a salmon fillet for dinner. Slowly but surely, she noticed a difference. The mornings became easier. Her knees didn't creak when she stood up, and while she still had moments of discomfort, they weren't as frequent or intense. Emma told me it wasn't just the food, it was the feeling that she was doing something for herself. She was taking control of her health, one small choice at a time. It was empowering, and it helped her feel more connected to her body in a positive way. The best part? She wasn't following some strict diet plan or eating foods she didn't enjoy. She was simply making simple, everyday meals that she loved, but with a new, healing twist. It's inspiring to hear stories like Emma's because they remind us that the changes we make don't have to be drastic to be effective. Often, the smallest adjustments in what we eat can lead to the biggest improvements in how we feel. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Small steps, taken consistently, can lead to real transformation. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Taking care of your health after 60 doesn't require a complete overhaul of your lifestyle. It's about adding the right things in, not subtracting everything that's familiar and comforting. And if you start with anti-inflammatory foods, those little treasures from nature that have the power to heal, you'll be setting the stage for a much more vibrant and enjoyable life. You don't have to suffer through the discomforts of aging. You can nourish your body in a way that makes it feel cared for, appreciated, and capable. And it's never too late to start. In fact, the sooner you begin, the better your results will be. So, what's your next step? I encourage you to take a look at your own diet. How many of these anti-inflammatory foods are already in your meals? What changes can you make today to start feeling better tomorrow? Maybe you could begin by adding a handful of berries to your breakfast, or switching out vegetable oil for olive oil the next time you cook. Small changes like these can quickly snowball into something much bigger. Remember, taking care of yourself is an investment in your future. The more you nourish your body with anti-inflammatory foods, the more energy, comfort, and joy you'll experience in your daily life. And you deserve all of that at any age. I'd love to hear from you. What's one anti-inflammatory food you can't wait to try, or maybe you already eat regularly? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Golden Daily Life for more health tips and inspiration to live your best life after 60. Here's to living life with less pain, more vitality, and all the little joys that come with it.